Hari Om. So today I'm going to speak on various researches done on Yoga-nidra. There is a lot of empirical evidence that points out to the usefulness of Yoga-nidra technique in removing various physical and mental health conditions. These important studies have highlighted how much Yoga-nidra is effective. We all understand the importance of stress management. Stress is the root cause of all of our lifestyle disorders. And in fact, all our mental disorders, stress is a very important risk factor. So if you have a stress, then you are likely to have mental disorders. If you have stress, then you may have some lifestyle disorders such as diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, cancer, arthritis, autoimmune disorders. And Yoga-nidra has been found to be very effective in managing the stress. Especially these studies have been carried out on college students, some healthcare professionals, old age people, the stressed professionals. Along with stress, Yoga-nidra has also been found to be very effective in reducing anxiety. Anxiety affects about 60% people at some point of their life. So also depression. Anxiety and depression both are very common mental conditions that we see everywhere. And Yoga-nidra is found to be very useful in reducing the anxiety and also depression. This anxiety and depression, they reduce our quality of life. Can't really enjoy the life. It affects physical health as well. So it's very important finding that Yoga-nidra can easily manage anxiety and depression. Another stress-related disorder is post-traumatic stress disorder. People experience trauma at some point of their life, and then that trauma disturbs them all through their remaining life. Say, for example, a childhood abuse may create this PTSD, and then that lowers the quality of life in the young age, even in the old age. But Yoga-nidra can reduce the symptoms of this PTSD, severity of the PTSD. Also, various pain-related problems or the problems, the physical conditions that cause pain. And this pain can also be managed very well by Yoga-nidra. For example, lumbar spondylosis. The pain in the spondylosis condition can easily be managed using Yoga-nidra. Also, Yoga-nidra has been found very effective in management of addictions. Drug addictions, smoking, alcoholism, and especially in the rehabilitation programs. Yoga-nidra has shown to be a great tool to aid the recovery, to help recovery of the drug addicts. There have been few studies done on older adults, and it's shown that these older adults, after practice of Yoga-nidra, they gain more confidence, their self-esteem levels increased, their dependency needs went down, depression, loneliness, boredom, and fear of future also went down. So this is a significant finding that Yoga-nidra can influence the older adults and it can improve their quality of life in a significant way. Now, Yoga-nidra has also been found very effective in lifestyle disorders. Many studies point out to reduction of risk factors for certain lifestyle disorders. Say, for example, diabetes. The risk factors of diabetes can be managed to a great extent by practice of Yoga-nidra. A study found that the glucose levels in diabetics can be reduced by regular practice of Yoga-nidra. Hypertension, the blood pressure can be lowered with the regular practice of Yoga-nidra. Yoga-nidra also found effective in increasing the HDL cholesterol. That's what we call as good cholesterol. Lowering triglyceride. Triglycerides again increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. Blood pressure is also playing a role in cardiovascular disease. So lowering the blood pressure, lowering the triglycerides, and increasing the good cholesterol is very important. And Yoga-nidra has shown to be effective in achieving the same goal. Also, Yoga-nidra has been found effective in reducing the symptoms and severity of asthma, colitis, ulcers. Also, few studies have been done on cancer, and Yoga-nidra is helping in reducing the cancer tumor, the tumor size, and also helping stop the metastasis, that is the spread of cancer. Of course, for cancer and all these lifestyle disorders, there is a need of more studies, high quality studies. But still, these are preliminary results and they are quite promising. Also, another study found that hormonal imbalances can be corrected using the practice of Yoga-nidra, especially in menopausal women. Specifically speaking, there have been some studies that talk about various stress-related outcomes, stress-related parameters, and the effect of Yoga-nidra. Heart rate variability is a very interesting parameter which is often used to measure the stress. What is heart rate variability? Our heart beats maybe 72 times in a minute, and any 2 beats there is a time gap, maybe 1 second, maybe 0.9 second in between 2 heartbeats. But there is a variation between every beat. Some beats may be 0.9, some may be 0.92, maybe some beats are 1.02, maybe 1.1 second apart. So this difference, the time duration between 2 heartbeats and the variation in that is called heart rate variability. And this heart rate variability is directly connected to the autonomic nervous system. And this heart rate variability is a very important measure of our nervous system stress. And Yoga-nidra has shown that heart rate variability increases, which is favoring relaxation, which is indicative of reduction in stress. Along with that, the parasympathetic nervous system activity is also increases with the practice of even one Yoga-nidra. Now, parasympathetic activity is indicative of relaxation, is indicative of rest and digest response instead of the stress, that is fight or flight response. So this is a very important finding with Yoga-nidra, that even a half an hour of Yoga-nidra can increase your parasympathetic activity, heart rate variability. Also connected with this is the sleep And there's few studies that have found that the sleep quality improves. Also, you can go to sleep faster and earlier. So Yoga-nidra is certainly effective in management of stress and stress related parameters and outcome. Then when it comes to brain, there have been few researches that have shown that the functions of brain are influenced. Even the chemical secretions are altered. Yoga-nidra certainly helps in learning. It makes the learning process faster. One study points out that if Yoga-nidra is given to the students, and in that relaxed state of students, whatever is being taught to them is being learned by the students very effectively. They can grasp much more, they can remember much more, they can think creatively about what's being taught to them, because the relaxed state of mind often leads to a concentrated and focused state of mind as well. Yoga-nidra is also known to integrate the left and right hemispheres of the brain. There are various steps in Yoga-nidra that allow this integration of left and right hemisphere. And the harmony and the balance between left and right hemisphere is very crucial for our health, for homeostasis, for balance of everything in our body. And studies have been pointing in this direction that Yoga-nidra can integrate the left and right hemispheres of the brain. Some other studies have shown that the cognitive functions such as memory can be improved with regular practice of Yoga-nidra. Also, many times the self-esteem is very low, especially the people who are depressed. So this self-esteem can also be increased with the practice of Yoga-nidra. Some studies have also pointed out that learning new languages, linguistic skills, can also be improved with the practice of Yoga-nidra. Some interesting studies have been carried out. Languages have been taught to the kids while they're asleep. But they have been given Yoga-nidra before. And in that relaxed state, they have been taught various languages. And the results are fantastic. The kids have shown that they can learn languages very quickly if Yoga-nidra process, Yoga-nidra technique is practiced. One study points out to increased release of dopamine. Now this dopamine we all understand very well. It is a neurotransmitter, it is a brain chemical which is related to our happiness. So we can call it a happiness hormone. When we eat something sweet, the brain releases some dopamine and that's why we feel happy. But Yoga-nidra can release this dopamine without we eating or without we smoking, or we do many other things to get this dopamine. So it's an easy way to increase this happiness hormone with the practice of Yoga-nidra.